Okay. A new message today. Sorry, Cozy-Toks solo podcast. I have nothing to post for Saturday. I haven't looked at the VODs. I haven't usually post a live stream for Saturday, and I'm so sorry. Have not taken the time to do that, but hopefully this video can be a placeholder. Today I want to talk about, very briefly, the truth. So and I'm just talking to the camera at this point, you guys, so I'm very sorry if it doesn't make any sense. I spilled all that. I am a person to value the truth, and I really would hate how some people would convey the truth, because if it wasn't just to get to the point in a very compassionate and empathetic way and considerate way of my feelings, then it was harder to receive, because it almost felt like in that moment people would be taking advantage of my vulnerability just to tell me the truth. So it would be for them to feel better, and along with correcting me or more or less repeat something over and over to the point where you just feel criticized, instead of having them just show me what I should have did instead, you know. And it would hurt me a lot, and it would make me cry a lot of the time, and I felt really bad, and it'd make me feel lonely, and it would make me feel unliked and not very loved and not considered. Because of that, I try to convey the truth in just an honest way, along with considering how I'm saying it with tone and volume and inflection and all those things. I try to consider all those things whenever I'm trying to preface or convey the truth, so that way people feel cared for, so they feel like it's insightful when I'm telling them, rather than just pure criticism. And I've gotten through to a lot of people by doing that, and didn't make it about myself. I didn't make it a comparison to them and somebody else even. And I've really seen that work and be successful, as in they take what I say and use it, and their life turns out just incrementally better, if not changed for the better. So, and sometimes people I would express to already resented me, already didn't like me, and were just around me for certain reasons. So when I was trying to be a friend and help them be more insightful about themselves, or maybe help them in a certain aspect of their life that I had already conquered and gotten results from, then they were just never going to be receptive, no matter how I said it, no matter what I said, because they just didn't want to hear it from me, you know, and for whatever reason. And I know we all have people like that in our lives, and now I can decipher whether or not I would even befriend people like that. You can kind of tell when people don't like you at this point. It should be. You end up learning that as a skill. And now, for the people I do have in my life, I've tried and practiced for each individual person, because they're all different, obviously, we all are, to respect their needs when talking about valuable things, hard topics, and things like that, and be considerate in different ways that I've learned that they needed, and in order for them to receive and accept the truth of what I'm saying. So, and to actually take my words for what they are. And I have a few people in my life that I'm even willing to do that with. They're all people that I would call a friend, and they know, because I'm telling them now they know that they know me enough to know that if I did have to tell them the truth, it's because I care enough to see them win, that I care enough to have them help them break their loops if they possess any. And they understand that I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't care enough to help, or I wouldn't try to waste so much effort to, help them see. And they know when I don't care. And they know what little effort I would give if I really didn't care. And they understand that about me. So then they value it now. And it's because I've gotten to know them and I've let them know me. I've been vulnerable enough with them to bond with them. So that way, whenever there are times of vulnerability coming from either one of us, they know I'm not trying to take it for granted and take advantage of it. So the truth has got me there, and I know it's hard to receive the truth, especially when we have not built enough self-evidence to help us be confident in ourselves. And without confidence, and receiving the truth at the same time, and I'll say that again, without confidence in ourselves or enough self-esteem within ourselves, sometimes hearing the truth in those stages of our lives feels the worst. It feels overwhelming. It feels almost impending, like doom, or miserable, or just so discouraging that you feel hopeless. And you get to a point where you put up so many barriers, nobody has a chance to tell you anything. And I mean anything. Not even words of affirmation or appreciation. So then you start to feel lonely, maybe, or whatever the case may be. That's only one way it could go, And then you never hear any feedback. You never have anybody consider you to that degree to take that much time with you to tell you anything about yourself, not even things they admire. And those are walls that we build naturally to protect us, and that's normal. It's normal and it's natural. And that's what fear will do, and that's part of all of us. We all possess that as a capability, and to put a wall up. So don't discourage yourself, or don't feel like singled out when I say any of this, and don't feel, don't take it too personally. Just analyze if it's you. And from there, pay attention to who you know in your life for certain that you can have honest conversations with, that you can express fully. Maybe there's going to be some people who don't feel like they can do that with anybody in their life. And at that point, you might be on a road to more discovery of different people to befriend, new opportunities to find people like that, because there are people out there, unfortunately. It's true. Sorry to burst your bubble, to think that your life will always be miserable. There's a chance for you. There's hope. There's a lot of fish in the sea, or whatever the hell people say. So then you're going to be on a journey to discover new people that you can be honest with, that you can have deeper bonds with. And I'm hopeful for you. And if you're on this, maybe on the other end of the spectrum, where you might have a few people you can be honest with, but then you also have people in your life that you keep close that you can't be, just remember those people that you can, and water those relationships, and test those relationships a little more in the sense of just trying to ask better questions, deeper questions, and preface them before you do. I really appreciate you, and I admire your honesty, and I appreciate how you treat me. And I'd love to talk to you about what you think about this, or what you think about that, or what's your opinion on this, and what's your opinion on that, and have honest conversations, even if you have nothing else to do. Especially if you have nothing else to do, strengthen those bonds. You never know what you're going to learn from people, and just based on what they share with you, just based on their honest answers. You never know if it'll help you. You never know if it'll motivate you or inspire you or appreciate them more, being willing to be your friend, or whatever the case may be. You just never know. It might be so unrelated to what they're saying, but it just clicks for some weird aspect of your life that you've always been trying to develop. It is important. And of course, if you if you don't care to do that, obviously don't do it. So it's that simple. I'm offering a suggestion when I say it, and there's value in the truth, and there's value when truth and respect are combined together in the conversation. It goes far. It goes far, very, very far. And I've had a lot of, a lot of feelings of discouragement and a lot of feelings of disappointment in my life based on me trying to help other people and be honest. And, when they would take me personally, or when they would make it about them and I, even though it was completely unrelated, or it would be maybe a reaction that was so negative that they decided to be spiteful with me, or to try to hurt my feelings, or just have an angry reaction is all I'm trying to say, and make it personal. And those are obviously the people that I, despite maybe if they've asked me to be truthful, that I just simply have to accept for them that they cannot accept the truth. And don't waste your time. Don't waste your time if you already know the answer. And that's up to them to change their reaction. It's still something they would have to change, And stand your ground if that does happen. And I mean stand your ground as in don't match them. Be comfortable with yourself. Be unbothered, if anything. And still try to speak to them. Still try to, get them to see themselves. And I really mean it, don't match what they're giving you. Don't try to get as angry as they are, if that is the case. And I'm only saying this part of the conversation, I'm only mentioning this aspect as a preventative measure, or it's a part of the limitation when you say the truth. You never know what's going to happen. And you may never know what to expect out of people's reactions. That's why people most of the time don't try. And so I'm saying, if you end up in that situation where you're having an extreme reaction to the truth, even though you did take an accountability of their feelings, and you did take an accountability of the respect that, needs to be given just person to person, just being a decent human being, and having compassion for their situation, and having consideration for their insecurities and all that. So just try to collect yourself. It's a very strong-minded thing to do, but don't take them personally at that point. Just understand in that moment when you receive a reaction, just know, okay, they haven't been able to handle what I said, even though I tried my best. This is obviously their reaction to what I'm saying. They would have reacted like this no matter what. They would have reacted like this with anybody else also. So then at that point, once you have a moment to be calm, you can just tell them and reassure them in that moment, because it's obviously what they need. I'm not here to tell you that I don't like you. I'm not here to tell you to make myself feel better than you. I'm not here to tell you that so that way you can be mad and ruin your day. I'm not here to tell you that so, I can kind of start anything with you. I just want to tell you so that way you're aware, so that way you can practice the self-awareness for this information. Maybe don't even say that, because that might be a little bit, but in some way just say, I'm only trying to help, basically. I'm only trying to tell you so not to take it personal. I don't judge you. Even if you kept on this way, I wouldn't judge you, but I'm here to show you, because I won't judge you because it would take too much time out of my day to care enough to judge you, and I don't. I love you, and that's it. I let you live your life. I live and let live. I don't try to change you, but I try to help you. It's up to you to change. Be willing to express however you need to express, and just try. And maybe that first time when you get that reaction that's terrible, you're gonna just, maybe you'll shut down. Maybe you'll cry. Maybe you have the balls to just be calm and, be okay with what you're saying, and because for certain it is true and you have evidence to prove it, or, they make you upset, and maybe you have no reaction. Maybe you shut down. Depends on who you tell. I don't know who it'll be. And take it as information. Try again with somebody else. You can try again with them, but that's up to you. And if it's too much, then let it go. Try with someone else. And don't be afraid to try. And unfortunately, too, if you are at this point in the video and nothing else clicked for you, and you're hearing this sentiment about trying, and you just, heard a big statement about the truth and what it could do and the value of the truth, an aspect of the value in truth. And now you're here, and I'm telling you now, hear me now, if you couldn't hear anything else. If you are not trying, I hope you understand that you are still reaching failure. And that's okay. We take it as information, and we just try to be different. We try now, physically, try. Or you take the time to think about it if it's a mental battle, something that's hurt your feelings or what have you, or made you angry or what have you. So you try. Not trying is failure. You're failing. Residing in fear because it's easier than not feeling the pain of failure is failing. So I give you the strength today to take control of your life and to cultivate what you have around you. It can happen for you. It really can happen for you. And even if you're getting an outward reaction towards you, or a reaction that you receive that isn't good, and you feel like crying, just go ahead and cry. If anybody's hurt your feelings, or if, in your heart, honest, you wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings, and you feel like crying, go ahead and cry. Go ahead and cry. And if you have nowhere to cry, and maybe you're a single parent and you have a child around you who's maybe cognizant about, feelings now, you don't want to bring them down, you feel like you might not have a place to really be alone to grieve your loss in life, whatever it may be, loss in just failure. It could have been, whatever it could have been, loss of a relationship, maybe it is death, maybe it is, lack of experience, or whatever the case is, just you're losing, you feel like you're losing. And maybe you're surrounded by people who hold you to a high standard. Maybe you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and maybe the truth is hurting you just thinking about it, and you hadn't have anybody tell you anything. You just thought of it on your own, and you realize, this is where I'm going wrong, and you feel sad. That is okay. Cry. Be willing to do that when you hear the truth, or whenever you have a bad reaction. That's okay, because you tried. You were trying, and you're having a reaction now, and you're grieving, and that's okay. Be all right with that, and you'll find time, you'll find space. When you show that vulnerability, people can relate to you. That's okay. And just know that that's you processing it. And that's probably a direct contrast to whomever you told the truth. They're probably not processing anything in their life. They're probably not processing how they feel, let alone the truth. So be confident in yourself. Be grateful for yourself that you are sweet and compassionate, and that you're empathetic. And that saves more than anything. It really does. It saves your friendships. It saves your relationships. It saves what you show your family. It saves the opportunity for people in your life who might be influenced by you. It saves them because now they have a role model. It saves them tremendously. It trickles down, you know. It's a trickling effect whenever you can be vulnerable enough with somebody to tell them the truth, to share the truth, or share the truth about yourself, you know, and to be vulnerable enough to express openly and be okay and reassure them, although it might be uncomfortable for some people, you know. Be okay, it's all right. It's a natural thing that I'm crying, and it's not something you need to take personally. You don't need to solve it. I'm processing how I feel. This is just how I do it. You know, whatever it is. And discouragement, maybe all of your efforts, you go back home and you just feel like it didn't work. And that's okay, because it's not going to work with everybody, and not everybody's going to be at the same place as you are in terms of how much you've learned or what you've learned. So don't take it personally. Save yourself the stress and just let them be them. You can love them from afar. You can love them at arm's length. You can love them from a distance. You can love them for a certain aspect that you guys certainly bond with. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's a great quality about admiration, because when you love somebody truly, you can admire maybe many aspects of them, if not everything about them. And so you keep going and trying, you know, you keep going and trying to help, you keep going and trying to, you know, expound on them. And that's a great way to be. And sometimes people are not comfortable enough with themselves to be in the truth with you. So, or, you know, accept that you might lead with the truth. It might be fearful for them. It might be something they're intimidated by. It's scary for them. And just know that that could have been their reaction for that. And I don't know if that makes any sense. It might have not made any sense. And I'm sorry if I couldn't properly convey what I was saying. Because I'm a little scrambled up here. I got ADHD. I'd just be jumping topics. So I love you guys very much. And I hope that was something you appreciate. And I love you very much, and I'm grateful for anybody who's been coming to watch these videos. I know the last one we had like 24 people watch it. I'm not the best editor. When life gets busy, I kind of just do this, just talk to the camera. So if anybody appreciates it, I don't know. I just turned on the camera and just started to talk. So I also thought about it before I got here, and I was like, you know what, if I have to edit it really, really crazy to get people to watch, could I even say if it was a good video or was it just entertaining? So I don't know what makes a good video. At this point, I really don't know. But if people can't be here to hear my message openly and honestly, then, and they need to be distracted, then, well, I don't know, I guess maybe this video is not for you. I love you, bye. See, be easy, bye.